Yeah, we're starting to do the
All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Monona Mass Transit Commission for Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Doug, you've got the roll.
Yeah, I have the stuff from Nancy.
Okay, Alder Moore is excused, as is Laura. All right, wonderful. Are there any appearances tonight? Any who wish to speak? I don't see any. I'll close that section, and then we don't have anything under unfinished business, so move on to number 6, new business. 6A, discussion on bus stops.
Yeah,
All right.
I want to start. So basically, we've been waiting. Metro's been dealing with their rapid transit systems. They kind of put it a little bit on the back burner. Now it's starting to go for them, so they're starting to kind of focus on us now a little more just recently. So the bus stops. So basically, what happened was we had a meeting with 2 of their engineers, Metro engineers, city engineers, who basically deal with the bus stops on a daily basis. We sat and had a meeting with them, myself, the Public Works Director, and Jeff Johnson, who is the Assistant Public Works Director, and this is his title. Sat down, went through the stops. They showed us like at each stop where the exact locations are, and at the time they told us why they did that and what we need to get these stops in service. So I'm kind of going to show a map. Back up. Turn it up. One more time.
All right, looks great.
So here's the so like I said, we had a meeting with them just recently. And they actually just sent us the detail here, actually yesterday morning. They finally put everything together. So this is basically the original map that we approved one time. The stuff in red was what wasn't really approved by the commission. So this down here by Broadway, just gonna make a note of that quick. That's what the G line stops they thought was the best. They said we could still add different locations if we thought there was a need for it. But you know, we're coming from Dutch Mill back this way, we're just kind of over here at Nichols, there was, you can see there's an X out, another red dot there. I can't blow it up.
I think you can, yeah. There you go.
Zoom in.
You got it. That's sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's, they, just based on the location, they moved it to one different side of the street.
Slide the bottom. There's a slider along the very bottom
Oh,
of the
yeah.
screen.
Oh, there
You
it
do
is.
that, yeah, just,
Ah,
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, so they made that change. Now on Dean, we had some stops. Based on our discussions at the time. In the road, they kind of X'd out the ones that we originally had down and put in the red ones for that, and same with Monona Drive, if you follow kind of Monona Drive and Dean. So that's the detailed stops where they're at. And the next they sent us.
Just before you move on to the next, I'm sorry. Could you scroll up just a touch?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I understand, and then for anyone listening or watching the recording, could you just put that in the center a little bit more?
Okay.
Put Monona in the, there we go.
Right.
So I just want to understand the red dots versus the non-red dots. Can you explain again the difference?
So the non-red dots are what originally the commission approved to send back to Metro. And then the red dots, when we sat down with them, they said, okay, these are probably the better locations, better settings for the bus should stop. So based on their engineering and knowledge, they just kind of moved those all over a little bit. So that's just basically kind of sitting down with them, kind of hammering the actual exact location.
So the red really just represents a shift,
Shift a little bit, yes.
like a slight repositioning
Yeah,
of a location that has already been
yeah,
approved. Okay, so they might move it half a block
yeah.
east or west. Okay,
And the ones on Broadway were never originally done by us because that's their G
those are
line.
entirely new. Okay.
And they asked,
Mhm.
so these were the, we want to go to G line, we're gonna stop. We figured these are the best locations for
Got
that. So that was their thought process on those. So this next screen,
Is there any discussion that we should be having or any questions or? There is one on Monona Drive that has been removed, I see.
the one right
That's-
here,
It's right above the letter L in the
Yeah.
L line.
yeah, right here.
So that looks like a removal. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, I can't remember the reason why we moved that.
That makes a lot of sense to me because
Okay.
it's just doubling up. Because keep in mind that the G only, or sorry, the L runs both ways.
Yep.
And so it looks like what they're doing is just making sure that there's a unified stop there for both the 38 and the L at the intersection of Dean and Monona Drive.
Yeah, so here's what they took away, and this is really what they added, so they didn't want, they didn't want two. We're at the same area, and I don't think the turn they liked either. With Dean, so basically the stop is right here.
So the new stop is just north of the turn in
Yeah.
on Dean.
Yeah.
Which seems very close to the next northern, just north of that dot.
Yeah, it was more.
I'm not the expert, but I just
Yeah,
curious, yeah. It feels like that dot could be more centered between
yeah,
the 2 points there,
I
but
can ask him again exactly.
yeah,
And maybe it's when they went out and looked at it with so they met in person, so we should skip that person. So Madison Metro, we sent out Jeff Johnson, who's the Assistant Public Works Director, who basically does all the street works. They went out with the two Madison Metro personnel. It's their director of basically not Public Works, I forget, but he oversees all the streets with Madison Metro. He's the head guy. They met and they walked through each stop, so I don't know if there's a change there, and that's the reason why. So they went out and went through each stop, step by step, so maybe that change was there.
yeah, and I don't mean to say that the only thing that it's important that all the dots be equidistant.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what's there. Is there,
Yeah, I guess that's.
what's there that,
So
you know,
that
that's what
whole,
matters,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Apartment complex.
yeah,
Yeah, I think,
right,
and that might be more an L line and the other ones are
Yeah.
not, so. So then they gave us an exact location of each stop.
so the number of stops has decreased by 1 technically.
Well, that actually was never our stop. That's actually related to the L line.
Okay, true,
So,
yes,
You and
yes,
Dean and you went
okay,
north.
so they don't need a stop on L because of the stops on 38.
Yeah.
Okay, makes perfect sense, okay.
So. Just 1 second.
Yeah, now you
So-
can get back, yeah.
So they went through each location. Here's 90 Broadway Bridge. So we,
Okay, yeah,
just go down.
yeah, okay, yeah. So there's the base,
So this is the base there. So this is
Yeah.
like here's the stop.
yeah.
So you base each one, where the pole needs to be, where the pad needs to be,
Mhm.
what's required. So each stop, the biggest thing they were looking for was sidewalks too, so that's another big thing. So that's that stop and then bus pads, curb radius, it's really for the engineers and public works. That's the requirements. If you guys think these are not right, we can always sit down.
But these are, oh no, I guess these are the stops that were along the bottom on Broadway, which
These are
were not
new.
on the map before, they're newly.
Yeah, these are new. So this would be the
Yeah.
Falcon Circle.
Yeah.
Right by the park area.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the big one, I think.
Broadway at Monona.
It's probably the busiest intersection.
Yeah. Can you zoom out so we've got
Yeah, this
trip.
is,
Quick
thank you.
Trip, the hotel.
So yeah, this is the
Okay.
intersection Meadow Drive and Broadway.
Yeah,
So this would be the crazier one where this, the main one where everybody's kind of most busy one, I would assume. So this is coming from, is it the G line, right?
it would be, yeah, G.
Yeah, so that's the stop there. That way they were looking for, okay, they can get across, crosswalk there, and they can get across there if they need, if that's one way or the other.
Mhm.
There's also the bus pad on this side, so you know, bus is gonna swing around, so it's gonna
Mm.
stop right here. Location there. Let's go up a little bit.
One piece of feedback, Mark, and I don't know if this is the best spot to share it, but that southeast corner bus stop, that
Right here.
the pavement along that line there is falling apart really bad. I know that because I'm a bicyclist, and so I'm often turning southeast here to get into the grocery store and riding on that pavement, and that pavement is in really, really bad shape right now.
Yeah,
And the bus is going to contribute to that. So I don't know if that's a Monona thing to bring up, if that's a streets thing, if that's Metro, but just to be aware that already bad pavement going on right there.
so just a little bit on that. So Broadway is actually owned by the county, it's a county road.
Okay.
But in the county we'll be redoing that whole section of road, basically from Bridge Road, or even the from Southtown all the way down to Stoughton Road within the next 2 to 3 years. So it's in our cap
Oh.
plan, working with them. So it's gonna be repaved, so it will be done,
Good.
but it's probably gonna be, honestly, I think it's in year 3, so 2006. It's 2017, I believe, is the year it's with the county and their capital budget to be redone. We have a little bit of share in the cost, but it is gonna be redone into that. It is in the capital county budgets to do that, so.
Fabulous. We'll need it by then.
So that's there. Huska Park, again, this is, they wanted a controlled intersection. Here, so here's a controlled, there's a stoplight right here, so it's a controlled intersection. Those poles bad, both sides. So there's a walk across, so that's, and again, they're looking for controlled intersections when they do all this. Roadways and cops. So this is when they turn, go up cops. And stop. This is Menards. It's okay, this is coming from. So this is Menards, so this is the kind of the one we had a little bit of concern about. I believe this is right in front of the Meritor. So they'll be there, and this is a little further one, this pad up here. Across the street will be affordable housing on the outside of Broadway, so will serve that area. So this is the best spot they thought with this one. This is the one we kind of went back and forth with a little bit because they were concerned about. If you're on Broadway, heading east, that you go to Menards, there's a little bit of a turn. They want to make sure they weren't in the path. Same as the way down. That's why it's so far up on Menards. That was there.
And this is also the second stop on the route, or the penultimate stop before you get to Dutch Mill. So
Correct.
this is the stop that's going to serve all the housing north of there, and as well as everybody on this side, on the west side of Stoughton Road.
Just having a hard time understanding that photo, and it's Broadway and Cops is the one that I'm just sort of.
Yeah, old Broadway's and cops here. So if you're,
You say this is Menards, like
this is Menards right here.
on the left.
On the right is
Yeah.
Meritor
Here's
Clinic
your-
or Unity Point.
Now I get it,
So you're
okay,
coming
and
from-
there's that, okay, so Broadway is
Yeah.
not shown, Broadway is
Yeah, so this is.
on the bottom of the picture,
So right
yeah,
here would be the street, the
Yeah.
stoplight, and here's the divider,
right,
and you can't put a. And you can't put a thing in front of, they don't want to put anything in the divider, because you're gonna block traffic right
got
there.
it,
So that's why they'd rather have it closer to the stoplight,
Mm-hmm,
it's a traffic calmer, but
yeah,
because of that, this right here and that turn, they move it up here. And Shasta would have kind of, this is coming back from
yeah.
Shadow Lane
Mhm.
area. All the requirements there, we'll have to have some no parking, so there's no parking in that one. Curb cuts, but then again, these are all sidewalks involved here too. This would be one, we had to put a little bit of a sidewalk here. This little area, but otherwise sidewalk on this side of the street and this side. Goal is to get them on sidewalks is what their main thing is, make sure there's sidewalks for ADA access.
So the curb ramps that need to be created,
Yeah,
that, how much of this falls to the Monona Public Works Department? All of it?
majority of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll give us the signs and we'll put the, we
Yeah.
have the poles, we'll put in, and that's
All
the
the signs,
signs.
but we need to build all the pads and all the. curb
Pads, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, pads aren't required to be in day one, so we can do it over some period of
ramps. But
time.
the curb ramp needs to be there, we would think,
I mean,
for
that's the goal.
ADA stuff, or,
We don't have to have it done day one, but the goal is eventually we need to, get that. I mean, Sun Prairie just put theirs in too, they just started it. They don't have ADA for all theirs right now either, it's just a process and then. And we explained to them, this could be over
Right,
time and they're
right.
like, yeah, it's what your budget's can afford.
and I mean, obviously, we're not letting it perfectly the end get it good, right? It's more than what we have right now, it's not where we ultimately will be, but it's
Yeah.
better than what we have now, yeah, we'll get there.
Fenright and the Taylor, right by the dog park, so
Sure,
turn there. Signs.
seems so close to one another.
Well, one's going one way, the other one's going away, so it's turned here, so here's the bus on one side, if
Yeah.
they're coming this way, it's. that
Yeah,
way.
I guess you're
So
right,
there's always gonna be a
Yeah.
bus stop on each side.
yeah,
Each side of the street.
yeah,
Um,
true,
Fenright, so this is Fenright and Mill Drive. So this is the hill right here.
Mm.
And this is,
so the bus comes up the hill and then
well, they'll come up here.
stops
Yeah.
shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Comes up the hill, turns and stops.
Yeah. So our goal again was getting by this.
No,
other
I
side.
thought the bus comes directly up Monona Drive from
It does,
Broadway.
yes. It does.
Yeah, okay, yeah, good, yeah.
But-
Crosses, yeah, it's not driving up the hill on Femrite, because that was a
That was
problem with
changed.
ice in winter. Yep, good.
So again, they're trying to hit this crosswalk in this area, so on both sides they can cross the street if needed.
So the bus goes down the hill, but not up it.
Well, it goes down Winona Drive and up Winona Drive. So it comes.
It doesn't
So like-
connect to the other side of Femrite, it just goes,
So you're right here, you're
Right,
you're right here, so you're going up the hill and then.
so the ultimate decision was to not travel that
I'm right,
slope at all.
I'm right, no, we didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, we
At
originally,
at one point, it was,
I'm right,
the route went there.
yeah.
Okay.
So at the time, the commission decided, the area you want to hit too was also, stores down there.
Yeah, no, I
So
get it.
that's
Yeah,
kind of the area.
Yeah.
Here's the Monona. So this is the L, no, that's the G route right there, but this is ours. That turn. Pull right there. So we turn right here on the road.
Mark.
Yeah.
Each of these little spots has like an arrow that doesn't seem to mean anything.
The arrows,
A little short arrow by
The
the
white one?
concrete pad.
yeah, this thing right, yeah.
I don't get it. Not like I'm really worried about it. I'm just wondering if you know what it means.
No, I'm sure Jeff knew right away, or Jeff Johnson, but I don't. I'll look into it.
Okay.
I just,
Cause they don't correspond with the direction the bus
Of
is
the
going.
traffic, right, that's
Yeah.
what my first thought was, but that wasn't.
Which one, the
This right
thicker
here?
thing?
The tiny
Yeah,
little-
isn't that where the pole with the
Oh,
sign?
this right here, this one.
Oh, that
The
one.
little arrow,
Oh,
I
see
think
what
is
you
what,
mean.
but
Yeah.
yeah, the
Okay.
pole is what I thought too, that was the
Yeah.
sign pole,
The
yeah.
little.
Would
arrow.
make sense for the other one there.
Yeah,
I mean, does that indicate like,
The direction the sign faces,
or just like the slope of the?
no, that would be,
it's gotta be something to do with the engineers and Jeff.
yeah, the slope of the, yeah.
The slope
I
of the
don't
road
know,
going
yeah.
on? I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever.
The road's really flat right there.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, okay.
But you know,
Yeah,
the
it's
buses,
just a different color. It's-
so this is the Owen Drive, so this is
Mhm.
right by the Heritage Place right now.
And there's the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ken's,
This was a difficult one for them because they really originally wanted it right here.
oh, sure.
They thought that there was too many of these,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be a
Yeah.
problem. So we moved that.
Sure, that makes sense.
Here's probably the one that's most invasive, I guess, to a resident. This is St. Teresa Terrace, because there's no sidewalks, just kind of the heads up about it. There's no sidewalks, so we'd have to put some type of padding here. Just kind of shows, doesn't mean we're exactly gonna put it in like this, but this is where this would be, and this is on the other side, so it would affect St. Teresa and this resident right there.
Where is Monona Drive,
So
this picture?
So this is
Over.
St. Teresa and Pheasant Hill.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
There is a sidewalk there that like ends on the east side. There's a sidewalk that just like ends. And
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
kills me because I've been like
Cause it stops at
pushing
the,
a stroller and then it's like, see you later.
it stops right, yeah, right
Yeah.
before the church, I believe, right?
Yeah, it stops basically where
Yeah.
the picture starts.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So
would
I
be the one.
see
They get connected.
right,
here to that idea. Also, I see there may be some discussion about the parking exclusions around that corner. Mostly because I feel that driving through there, the north side of Owen to the east of whatever the vertical street is, Pheasant Hill.
Pheasant Hill, yeah.
There's a lot of folks that park along there. I don't quite know. I don't think they're associated with the houses on the south side of the street. But I just see a lot of folks that park there, whether during the day. I don't see much overnight. So I don't know if it's going to be an issue or not. But this is the first time that I've seen us taking away parking spots from places that I'm pretty confident that people do park. And again, it's only on the northern side of Owen to the east of Pheasant Hill. And it's two or three spots looking at the size of the cars on the picture there. Don't think to me it's a big problem. But just to know, this is the first time that I think taking away parking spots has been a conflict with my observations about parking in the neighborhood.
Yeah, this would be, cause right here, would be right here, no parking here, right? So-
Is one of these streets Gordon?
No, this is.
No.
I'm
Pheasant Hill.
confused where,
PDF.
St. Teresa's
14.
Oh, here we go.
Terrace.
It's got,
Uh,
head down.
I hate this pad.
We're not anywhere near St. Teresa.
It's by,
Why are,
it's by the Village Inn, not the Village Inn.
I thought someone said,
Oh,
looking at St. Teresa.
where it's
That's St.
different-
Dennis
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a different, it's a.
Yeah,
or St.
that's
Stephen, sorry.
Oh, St. Stephen, what,
Okay.
St. Teresa?
Yeah.
And it was
Lutheran, not.
Owen and
Oh, okay. St. Stephen's is
The
there?
Lutheran's not the kind of,
Okay.
it's got my
Yeah,
folks.
it's the polling
It's
place.
hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
this makes sense to me now. Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
my fault, I was for some
I'm
reason.
curious as to why people are parking there.
On the side of the street.
Yeah, cause the church has a lot of parking.
And there's parking on the south side of the street.
So we gotta, yeah, so this, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be big of an issue for the church, but
Hmm.
there's one residence we'll have.
I mean,
Otherwise, they'll park
They
in
have a food
businesses.
pantry, so you think that they might
Yeah.
be happy about people being able to get there
Right,
and it being a polling place.
It's wonderful.
Nichols and Short Acres. And down to the community, to the city hall. So we'll be, again, yeah, I guess there is a sidewalk already, but these will be the houses that'll be in front of, just those two spots. So so the requirement Metro was saying they need no parking, some certain distance from the bus stop, so that's, I've never seen all these.
What's the north street there, the street going
Here.
north?
This is Pheasant Hill, this is Short Acres.
Woo-hoo.
Uh,
Yeah. Put a lot of them right there.
I'm surprised they put this one here, because this is a stop right here.
And it's a slope and a stop sign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they did it because of the controlled intersection,
yeah. But,
so it will be a church again here.
yeah,
and
the
then it's-
church right there,
And
yeah,
then a person's house, right?
yeah.
Well, again, there is a sidewalk,
Mhm.
some no parking. This is one of the spots where the spot was a little bit down further, and they moved it over here.
So this is one of those intersections where only three directions stop, right? The people coming up that hill on Nichols Road
Yeah, they
don't
don't
have
stop.
to stop.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not questioning, the decision here, I'm just. I don't,
Yeah,
Makes it a bit harder for someone getting off the bus who lives on the other side to cross because the people
Right.
coming up the.
maybe, I don't know.
I think we had it closer to Maywood originally.
Sure.
So they moved it here. I think the reason maybe because we were coming down the hill, it's not a controlled intersection, at least there's a stop sign on one side, at least stop on one side, maybe. I think that was the rationale for it.
I'd be curious about like the procedures by which the city decides to put in a stop sign and if there'd be some openness to making it a four-way stop, if that's where the.
Yeah, I don't know what the history behind that one is.
I've always just assumed it was because of the icy winter and trying to get
Oh,
up that
trying to get
hill.
up the
That's the
hill.
only thing that
Yeah.
can come to, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like,
if
it's
that's-
easy to get up the hill if you don't have to stop, maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I imagine it's an issue.
I think it may also be serving as a traffic calming measure as well, because that's really the only stop on Nichols Road between Monona Drive and
That's a good point, yeah, yeah,
all the way down, right? So it might also
Yeah.
just be traffic calming, which they don't need on the uphill, because the hill
Yeah,
calms the
yeah.
traffic.
so that's a really
No
good,
idea.
it's not so much, why don't they have a stop sign, it's why do they have a stop sign?
One, yeah.
To calm traffic, maybe, yeah. It's kind of a blind, when you're cresting that hill, when you're driving toward the library and you go over that hill and the church is on your left, it can be a bit of a blind spot, so. A stop sign is nice there.
Here's the one by this, library. here.
Yeah. That'll be great.
Are we
Commissions.
going to be able to reuse that bus pullout then?
This right here. We
That's
will
where it
for
is.
now.
Thank you for pointing out.
Yeah, we will.
Not for right now, but
So we will for now, but the road will be under construction in probably 3 years, and then we're gonna put a bus stop, we are gonna put one in. Not sure exactly where on this route, on this little stretch, but there will be one on each side.
So Eddie, you referred to that as a bus pullout? I didn't know that.
So yeah, if you could, I don't know if you, right in front of libraries.
Yeah.
It used to be for delivery
Okay,
to the library, that's fine. But that's where you'll see cars sitting there, delivery or police
Yeah.
officers will sit there, so.
sure.
Yeah, and pullouts I think are nice for the buses for two reasons. I mean, one, it gets them out of the flow of traffic. If there's a lot of people getting on and off of the bus, they're not interrupting traffic. I think it's also, Metro is saying that when they're looking for those time stops where the drivers potentially could have to idle for some time if they're ahead of schedule or taking a break, the pullouts are really nice for those as well. So yeah, I hope, Mark, in the redesign of this road that we're consulted on the bus stops and pedestrian crossings and stuff to make sure that we do get bus pullouts through this kind of busy area.
We did get a federal grant to redo this road. I believe it's 3 to 4 years from now. And they're doing engineering, they're starting to start engineering and was told to include that in their plans. We'll have some type of documentation. What's best fit. I don't know if you're aware, we're looking at redoing this area right here too from the city. If they redo the city camp, they call it the city hall building, city campus building, fire department area. So this is gonna change a little bit. So this will eventually probably be all changed a little bit in the near future, but for now, this is what we have it at.
I figured out the little arrow, I decoded it.
Oh,
I did.
good.
So
Oh,
it
is it?
says bus pad 20 to 30 feet before lamp pole. It's the lamp pole. Or it's the crosswalk or whatever feature they mention in their dimensioning for the location of the pad. For some reason, but that's what it is. Or,
2 points for Doug today.
stare at it long enough, you figure it out.
Here's a stop, Wickwall and Nichols.
So you keep going down Nichols, past the pool, past the Blue Park, boom.
Yep.
Nice.
It's kind of serving this area here. So this is, we go down Winnequa and then change, going to Dean. This is,
Backing up one stop real quick, just to make sure, if I remember correctly, is that an existing stop for our current transits, or are those?
It is very near that location,
it's right here.
Addie. As is the Monona, as is the McKenna Road, there's a stop right there. Right.
Okay, that's good to know that we're not really putting, these are part of those grandfather stops. They've been stops for a while, et cetera.
Right.
But there is a stop between these stops and the stop at McKenna Road that we were talking about.
So there's 3 stops, McKenna, City Hall area, the park area, and then right here
Yeah,
at the end of this road.
Okay.
So if you go on Nichols, then we're going out
you can take a right and you're toward
Dean right here, so this is that turn. To get onto
Yeah.
Dean. So we'll get a stop here at that intersection. Head down
Yeah.
here.
Oh, and
Um,
also just to point out, between those 2 stops, there are no stops on Winnequa at all. That
Right.
everybody on Winnequa will go either to, one of the 2 prior stops to get on the bus.
Yeah,
There's no stops on Winnequa. Good.
here's the Dean and Shore Acres stops. I think, is this the one you guys were,
Is this up here?
That's the one
that's right around there. Yes.
Dean and
The
Shore
person
Acres
who
is-
was talking about.
Yeah,
It's the one with the short, you guys were talking about Schofield.
yeah, Addie, remember there was the gentleman that was expressed his wishes that how should we be communicating that, or is there reason to communicate? I mean, Metro people were at that meeting.
Well, I guess it's really our decision if we want to move that. So I'd have
It is our decision.
to move we're the ones who proposed the
Oh,
various stops. I mean, they gave us a, like, kind of what their best guess where the stop should be, and they
Okay.
kind of approved it. I mean, we want to add or move them, I mean, it's really up to us. So I don't know but how it would fit in to the grand scheme. Is it too much? If we move it closer up, is it gonna be too close to the next stop?
right,
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
they have like
They're pretty evenly spaced right now. So this gentleman,
I don't know, Doug knows.
he wished to have a stop at Dean and Schofield, but he would instead be walking or needing to walk one
When
block, is that?
Metro did the meeting, did they show the map that we're looking at right now with the red
I wasn't at
circles?
that.
They did not,
Oh,
it was
okay.
just conversation.
Because my thought is if they showed that, you know, if they showed our original map, it was 2 blocks west of where he wanted, and now it's 1 block closer,
Closer.
so it's still at least better than what
Yeah, yeah,
he may have been operating under.
Yeah. that's a really good point.
Yeah, that, well,
Kind of the new development, if you were,
Monona and Dean.
yeah. So this is there's a big development
The
going in.
blue,
They
Yeah,
call it, yeah.
yeah.
So you're heading down this way and stop there.
Yeah.
So you just stop. There's,
where's the stop on the?
other side of
Other
the
side.
street, yeah,
I just thought about that, I don't know.
yeah, I was thinking too, like, is there one on the other side?
No, the next one would be, what we just looked at.
So if you're getting on,
It would be a little south of, if we could go down, if the photo went further down, we would see the other stop, I think.
No, actually, it's over
Right.
here. Because it's on Madison's side, they didn't give it. We can look at the very end.
I mean, there's two, I guess, it might, like, right here.
Yeah, so
looks like,
So there's
sorry,
one down
basically
and
it's
one on
that,
the other side.
is that a
Yeah,
quick
the
trip?
quick trip,
yeah,
right,
so Madison, they didn't put it in Madison's side,
got it, okay,
Okay,
okay.
but it would be right around here. Now it's, now I'm looking at
so
the
there's
map.
probably, oh yeah, and the other one isn't there because it's the Madison side, so the. it's probably a
Right, so
quick
there would
trip
be
if-
two, right. One a little south if you're on the same side of the street and the other a little north on the other side of the street, yeah.
So if I go to, I'm just gonna go to this front page.
Yeah.
So if you kind of,
Yeah.
It
That's
looks to
right.
me like, it looks to me like the two,
Oh, that's the one they removed. Oh, yeah, okay,
so you put it on the other side, on the Quick Trip side.
yeah,
So you turn the corner, you gotta walk across Quick Trip on Madison side to get on, and north.
Yeah.
And coming south, you get off of that area.
that's fine.
So. I was looking at it, they didn't give us. Cold Springs.
Yeah, I wonder.
Okay, this is the school area, so this would be the school stop.
Mhm.
they
So
already
it's-
have a stop there actually on their map.
On their map, they have one on their side.
Yeah, it was the one that somebody commented was close to the new one.
Yeah.
But there's a mid-block crosswalk, and I think it's right. I think that's why they put them where they are,
Mm.
because they're right near that crossing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be our side.
And that crosswalk, Doug, also is one that has the button with the flashing lights for people. It's just below where the map cuts off there.
Mhm.
Yeah, right here, right? So it's, yeah. For some reason they didn't. So yeah, so there's Madison side. So I can see.
Mhm.
I guess it's at Lofty.
I guess they never gave us these last ones. Try. Because so they have 4 more now to get from them. Be the same situation.
Mhm.
Buckeye and Vegetable Road. So,
Are you asking why they didn't give us a map?
yeah,
I
What?
think those exist
is that what it ends up being? Yeah.
for the L. They're just there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's-
I mean, they're probably only showing us the ones that are new for the
Yeah,
38 route for us to approve,
Yeah,
I guess.
so I don't know if changes, I mean, this is based on their experts working all this stuff. So that's all they,
I mean, the only thing that comes to my mind is this thing that we've already talked about, which was the request of the gentleman that was a low vision rider. But it sounds to me like he would be a little closer than he currently is right now,
Wish I knew.
unless I thought he said that there is currently a stop at Dean and Schofield.
So is this Dean Schofield right around here?
It's just one block east of those new red.
Also here and here.
It's right there.
That's Schofield. Okay, so
There,
he would.
there
be-
isn't one based on our current route map, I don't think.
But Abdullah will stop
When-
anywhere. so-
Yeah, they'll
That's a
stop,
good point, that's a
they'll
good.
stop for you
Drop me
wherever you're
off at
going.
home.
Yeah, so it's just it's a very close, okay. It's very close to the existing spot, yeah. Good point.
I guess I would just be interested if they can confirm the exact spots. Just confirm where the existing pads are, because it looks like it's further north from the high school and it's not actually, the stops on the east side of Monona Drive are not actually close to the flashing light thing, which is fine, like people can walk, but I'd just be curious as to the exact.
You talking about the Madison side ones?
Yeah, the Madison,
I can
they
get
can
to- yeah.
provide that.
Yeah, and the reason I gonna give us, because they put those in themselves, so that's part of their, but yeah, I
Don't do that.
can get that from them.
That way, at least, like, if people ask us questions, if we're like on the Monona Express, we can say
Yeah.
exactly where things would be.
Yeah, I can get those exact locations.
So like just to have this map with little symbols of Monona Express stops, is that what you're saying?
No, just
Go
the
there.
exact address of the,
Like we just looked at. for
the,
spots.
yeah, the stops we did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like these right here. you know,
Okay.
these-
Well, maybe I will look at the current stops, just to. Sure.
Yeah. Any, is there any more discussion about this? Any questions or concerns or things that people want to add?
I'm going to be kind of keeping my eye on the intersection of Monona Drive at Owen, where Ken's is, and the restaurant is. That intersection is already kind of thorny, and they kind of put barriers up in between the lanes to stop people from like making a hard left out of Ken's to try and get. It's a crazy intersection already with a whole lot of pavement trying to control people's behaviors. It doesn't always work and gets run over all the time. Like people just bump the curbs. So I'm kind of curious to see how it'll work in that little spot. That's a spot where I'm going to kind of keep my eye on how it's working.
So where's that at?
I'm looking for a page.
You know, I was looking where it's in that. Here it is. We're talking about this here.
Yeah,
We're talking
right,
about this area.
yes.
Yeah, because there's two things that I see. Is that one, in between those two cars on Owen Road, that's a raised piece of pavement in the center between the two, because it's stopping. You see where it says in the Ken's parking lot on the north, it says terrace tree, and just below that is that curb cut.
Yeah.
And outlet from Ken's, and people would always try and come out there, come out there and turn left to get out onto Monona Drive. Yeah, so it's always very thorny, and now with the restaurant being very successful, and of course for Boney's too, having a lot of cars coming really in and out of that space. So we'll see how it goes. I'm curious if they're going to be able. I think making the left from Monona Drive onto Owen Road is going to be okay, but I suspect they may have some issues heading eastbound on Owen Road and turning south onto Monona Drive, potentially with that piece of cement there. And I think the stop will be just fine southbound. But yeah, we'll see how those stops play out right there. It's just kind of a weird intersection with a lot going on.
So I believe that stop was served two routes at that same time.
Mhm.
So the 38
And the L.
is the
Yeah.
LG. Yeah.
The G, the L
yeah.
just heads out. Yeah.
And over here, you can't see it with the bowling alley and the post office. There will be a major development coming in probably next 3 years or 4 years, what eventually comes through. So there might be some other, we might have to, change some stuff around there too, but stops. But for now, this one serves the two, that's why they probably put it there. So I guess is there's like any questions or concerns you want me to move over to the metro on these? Are we okay?
I mean, the Public Works folks walked the route.
Yeah,
They
they
went
want,
out, they visited.
Yeah.
Metro folks went out and visited. I
I did send it to the chief too.
don't see how I have a deeper base of information than we do to work from. We have to trust our experts.
All right.
So in that case, does that mean we move on to the next agenda item?
Unless somebody else has any.
I mean, will we be making a decision next time we meet?
Well, we already approved the route. This is just more just the, I don't think we need the approval.
There is no decision to be made.
No, it's just
Okay.
discussion with the actual
Okay.
exact location, what's required, it's kind of more of information. Where everything is.
Well, hearing.
We can take a vote on it.
It's not it's not.
No.
Yeah, it's not like your decision. All right, so I'm gonna move on to item 6, letter B, unless there is something that others would like to say, but I don't believe there is. 6, letter B, discussion on marketing plan for Madison Metro, which is in the very back of the packet, the final page. A 1-page draft document.
Well, this is, we're supposed to have somebody again come talk about kind of senior portion and some more marketing, but they had a family issue come through around 2:30. Justin, our kind of main contact, couldn't find somebody else to come. So basically what this is what they, they see as their plan for what they're gonna be doing. And how they're gonna roll out their service on their side. So if we wanna do stuff on our own side, do different promotions, that's something. Different, so it doesn't have to be. Have them do all of it, we can do our own marketing, send out postcards and whatever things like do. So just kind of give you an update what they're planning to do. And what they're seeing as their market. So I guess that we probably should have our own, what we're planning to do.
I think the two things that we had discussed that to me are important, but I don't see here are one, helping everybody in town know where all the sales outlets are in our community. I know there was kind of some back and forth about whether Metro Market was going to be a sales location, et cetera. But I think that's something that we can do, because I think with the new fare cards system, helping people get over the barrier of riding the first time by getting one of those fare cards in people's hands, I think is also really important. And if we have the ability to get those cards, because as I understand it, like we could, if I remember our notes, we could get blank empty cards with no value and give to people so that they have a card to load fares onto when they go and ride the bus. Because I'm thinking about right now, if I was to go and try and ride the bus, I can bring cash, which I have to go scrounge around and find and feed into the machine, and I can ride. I don't have a bus pass. My employer doesn't provide one for me. So I'm thinking about how do we minimize that barrier to access of getting the fare card, and so where can we get those in our community, and is there the possibility of getting a stack of those and having the ability to give those out, whether at the senior center, the library, at the city hall, or have a ride the metro day where we give out fares or give out cards so people can get on the bus and ride.
So Addie, if the card is empty, can you load it on the bus?
I don't know about the loading on the bus. I know that you can go on their website, but again, all of this is like just starting in like the next week, I think.
Yeah.
So there's a
So-
whole lot of chaos and transition.
And publicizing the fact that you can just tap your credit card.
It's
will be-
huge.
Will be key.
Yeah. Instead of having instead of having a
that's
card
to
at
get
all.
enabled?
You just, there, that's coming.
That's the thing there.
Yeah,
moving
I know.
across.
Yeah, you just, that's better yet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be amazing, because then you don't even have to have cash. Like,
Right.
That'll be,
So I guess now we're talking about like what we want to say, and then there's how you want to say it. And what we're looking at now is Metro's marketing plan. It doesn't have a lot of detail,
No,
but Mark, you mentioned like, do we want our own marketing plan? And I guess, I think I'm envisioning things like VMO, the city newsletter, the city Facebook page, leveraging those things. Is that what you mean?
right, yeah,
Okay, okay,
the message, yeah.
yeah. Absolutely, we would want to do that. I mean, I'm assuming a press release from Metro could also go out, or bits and pieces of it could go out in our newsletter. At least sort of like an attention grabber with a link to the full
Yeah.
press release somewhere else.
well, once we have that language, we can use it to modify
Yeah.
the current web page for transit to
Right.
just say, here's where the stops are, here's how you can pay. So it seems like we just are sort of waiting on finalizing the stops and getting the details for them so that we can retool all that.
One thing that's weird is I've asked them for the times. And they're like, oh, we won't give you the times until like 3 months before it goes live, which to me is weird,
Yeah,
because they said they can't give it to me.
yeah, as soon as that's available, I feel like that's what people will
Yeah,
want.
and I thought it was, no, we will give that to you about 3 months. I don't know if that's to do with your union contracts and their
Or
routes,
maybe they just haven't
figured it out.
figured it out, because it seems like they just have been tweaking the times based on the scheduling issues that they've been dealing with on. I don't know if it's the 38 or the C, but they had to change the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they talked about it last time, because I had heard from coworkers about the buses just never being on time
Oh, for the C route.
for the C route. And they said that they were working to fix that, so they were changing the schedules.
Yeah, I think they're working a lot on their kinks right now, yeah.
I guess curious to see how good their marketing is and if it's sophisticated and good and leads people to the right information. Great, maybe we don't have to do much, but if we see gaps in getting the word out to our citizens, then we can respond as a commission to that. But I mean, right now we're getting free marketing from them built into the price of the contract, which I love. We used to spend our own budget on marketing. Honestly, don't know how effective our marketing efforts were, but hard to really know. We did see ridership increases, so I'm sure it's had something to do with that, but they have, a robust website. You're going to be able to get information on our routes through Google, and it's going to be a lot easier to access, I think. So I don't know. I'm in the wait and see camp. But I also want to second Eddie's comment about the information about where you can get the fare card, because it doesn't look like you can pay with your debit card just yet.
Yeah, we can, somebody was supposed to come tonight, we'll have somebody here at the next meeting. Dig down into that portion, I had some family issue, he couldn't make it. But yeah, we can wait, and do it the next meeting, see if they have them bring that information for the fares, how the access is, see if they're using right now, because they must have some type of marketing out there right now. Or going to have that out there, so.
But they've got, the text, email and text alerts to existing riders, fantastic.
Yeah.
And social media, we can probably do a lot of stuff on the city Facebook page, and I'm sure that Neil's got every intention of doing that.
I know.
Parents.
I know with the seniors, I've been working with the
Mhm.
senior director, Diane, and we've been kind of working, she's been already kind of working with theirs. Or with their transit driver or leadership. So they're gonna be meeting here fairly, before the end of the year, so they're gonna start working with them. So she's been working with them, just kind of like an in-house thing, where they're gonna come in and do a presentation, things like that, so. That part, they've been already kind of working on.
So to what Doug mentioned, let's wait and see what their work looks like before we decide whether we want to jump in and do anything.
Sure.
Or how much we want to do.
One,
Might they be able to provide like timelines for when they'll be doing each of these things?
Yeah,
So
just
that
more
we,
detail.
so that we can say, oh, there was apparently a press release
Yeah.
in October.
Yeah,
You see it? I didn't see it. I mean, how are we gonna know? How are we gonna evaluate?
yeah, I get a timeline,
Yeah.
I know they kind of just threw it to them.
And that's fine, that's
Because
fine,
of, I know they were so, they were so swamped, I think.
Right,
The transit
right.
system,
I
that really,
totally get it.
99% of their, 90% of their stuff was focused on it.
I get it. But it would be helpful, like the
No,
postcards,
yeah, I'll
and
see
we-
them.
then we would know when to sort of keep our eyes out for these things and evaluate how they're working, yeah. Is there anything else that you feel would be helpful, Addie?
well, I mean, the one thing that we alone can do is say goodbye to the Monona Transit System.
Okay, what do you think?
I mean, this is kind of weird. But is there an interest, especially, for some of the seniors, this has become part of the daily rhythm of their life. For many of the transit riders, they've made very good long friendships. Is there is going to be a last ride of the Monona Transit, and do we want to make a thing of it? I don't know.
That'd be really sweet.
Decorate the bus. I'm just thinking back that the kids on the last day of school last year came driving by. They went like around the block 3 times, all the kids shouting, last day of school, right? And celebrating the end of an era. And Metro isn't interested at all in celebrating, the end of Madison. They're focused on launching, getting us into this new thing. Do we have a place to say, thank you to the drivers who have been members of our community. Thank you to our weird little bus system. It's now time to evolve, and might that help some people with the transition? I don't know.
I like it.
I think I just want an excuse to have another parade in Monona. So,
I think it's a fantastic idea.
well, sign me up to be the leader of this crazy idea.
Say goodbye. All right. Anything else to say about marketing? I think it's kind of just wait and see. I mean, at our next meeting, we'll have some more information. For me, if we could start to flesh out some dates on when they
Yeah.
plan to do these things, that would be a good next step. Yeah.
There is we could share ahead of time. You can just email them and they'll send you a fare card in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
So if
Let's
you go
tell
to their
people how to do
website, Addie,
that.
you'll be able to find that. It's easy. It looks like it takes 6 to 8 days, but stuff you could
Delightful.
get
Thank
people
you.
stuff ready ahead of time. But
All right. I imagine the details like this are going to be worked out a little later.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, I'm just going to move on to the next item on the agenda, discussion of any committee contributions or suggestions toward advancing the city's ongoing and expanding DEI initiatives. Was anyone involved in anything, or did they take in anything that you wanted to share?
I just think this whole, what we're doing right here is a huge thing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's absolutely huge. I will also add, I mentioned this last night at the Sustainability Committee meeting, that I happened to just catch an interview on NPR with someone who is by profession, he's like a DEI expert, I guess, consultant. And the interview, I need to go and read it because there were so many wonderful nuggets of information. He just broke down, well, let's look at it. What does diversity mean? What does inclusion mean? What does, it was just answered so many questions that seem to be circulating in our country right now with a real negative bend to them. And he just sort of put a lot of talking points in front of me that I really appreciated. So I will try to find that and send it out to everyone. Right. If there is nothing else, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion seconded.
Move.
I think we have a motion here. Is there a second?
Second.
Patty will second. All right. All in favor of adjourning? Say aye.
Hi.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to having our fearless leader back in town.